apresenta Black Sabbath ao vivo no Brasil, com sua formação clássica, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Vinny Appice e Ronnie James Dio. Dias 23 e 24 no Olímpia, 27 Ibirapuera, 29 e 30 no Canecão e dia 1º no Gigantinho. Black Sabbath ao vivo, realização Mercury.
Se apresentando no Gigantinho em Porto Alegre. Eles estão lançando um novo álbum, The Humanizer, e começaram sua turnê pelo Brasil. Mas por que será pelo Brasil?
We've never been here before. It's wonderful to be able to go to other countries and places, of course, that you don't normally get a chance to go to. And we've been told that Brazilian fans are great and that we would enjoy ourselves here. So for all those reasons, we certainly wanted to come. It also gave us a chance to, we haven't played together in 10 years. And nicer to go to a place to play where you know you're going to be accepted well than to have to go somewhere else where you're not sure. The new album is called Dehumanizer, and we wanted it to be, we didn't want it to be an album that reflected us being the fathers of rock and roll, the fathers of heavy metal, because we don't feel that makes any sense at all to us. I mean, it's nice to influence people, of course, and of course, Geezer and Tony and Bill Ward and Ozzy really were the ones who did most of the influence in the early Sabbath. But for this album, we wanted it to be as dark and as strong as possible, the way Sabbath always is, but more modern in the attitudes of the things that were being said inside of the songs. The governments who are supposed to be ruling for the people are in reality lying to the people and taking everything that they have. Therefore, the title of the album, Dehumanizer. People are not important anymore. It seems that the big machine is more important than the people are. And so this album reflects a lot of what we think about that. As Geezer said, it's the time you're at and how you feel. So that's why we're different now. I never imagined, I didn't know what Brazil was going to be like at all. I mean, no notions at all. I'm just very, very happy that it is what it is. Kids are great. People are so nice. People are just wonderful to us. That's most important to us, I think, that the people are nice to us so we can be nice to them in return.
And the women.
Well, that's Vinny.
But there's no sex in our video. Only in our minds.
Tony wanted to say that, but...
Yeah, Vinny said it for me.
To AIDS research. I've taken part in charitable organizations as well as Geezer has, as well as Vinny has. We all do. I think that once you get to the point in your career that we've gotten to where we've had success, then you stop thinking about yourself and you start looking at the world around you and realize that you can do something to help. But in the beginning, I don't think any band thinks that it's going to form to be socially corrective. That's not why you do it. You do it because you love the music. And then if you can become successful, then you should give back some of your time to help the people around you, yeah.
Hello, this is Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath. You're watching Furio Metal. And this is...
I'm Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath, and you're watching Furio Metal.
Deu pra sentir, né? Deu pra sentir. Black Sabbath, gravei quando eles estavam aqui, fiz uma matéria contando um monte de curiosidades sobre o Black Sabbath, sentindo Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Ronnie James Dio, Vinny Appice, que beleza, né? Fúria começando, hoje tem essa matéria do Black Sabbath muito legal. Tô aqui, tem umas coisas bem no começo da banda, vamos ver só o que eles falaram, tem coisas muito legais.
In the end of the 60s, every band was singing about love and flower, and you decided to sing about the dark side of life. Why did you decide that?
Because basically we were fed up of hearing songs about love and all that, so we wanted to hear something else, and the only way we could do it was to write our own version of it, and that's the way it came about. And when we started writing our own songs, Tony came out with like these ultra heavy riffs, and so we needed ultra heavy lyrics to go with it, and that's the way it sort of came out.
This is the fact of you live in Birmingham. influence any?
I don't think so, because you have bands like ELO and Moody Blues, you know, all different sorts of UB40, it's all different sorts of music, really. I think that Birmingham had a really big music scene. Scene,
man.
And there's just lots of clubs there, but a lot of it was soul and disco sort of music, and there was only a couple of blues clubs. We were into the blues side of it, so that's where we used to go and see bands and probably got our influences, and then decided that we had to do our own stuff because there was nowhere for us to go, really.
In fact, I think where we first took off, we had to go to Germany and places like that in the early days to start playing. Because in England, there wasn't much happening for us, you know. There's just, as Guy said, there's just a couple of clubs you could play. So we'd sort of go off to Europe for months on end.
You changed the name of the band in the middle of touring in Germany.
Well, we changed the name because what happened, there was another group called Earth at the time, another band called Earth, and we got booked as this other band, and they were a pop band.
A pop band?
Yeah, and we ended up turned up at this gig to play, and we were, of course, the wrong band, and they'd all got bow ties on and all dressed up, all these people.
You were expecting the other.
They were expecting the other. So anyway, we got on and played, and we just died. I mean, you know, it was just... So after that, we decided to change the name.
And I'm curious about what was the reaction of people when they first ever listened to Black Sabbath, a song like that?
Shock.
Shock, but really shock.
Yeah. It really was, because we wrote that. We used to do just blues numbers at first. That's what we played, like these 12 bars. And then the first song, or one of the first songs that we wrote, was the song Black Sabbath. And we went to this blues club on the night that we wrote Black Sabbath, and we thought, let's just try that number out, you know, and everybody just starting it. It's like amazement, and we knew that we were doing something good, you know, on the right way.
Did they like it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, afterwards, they were coming up saying, oh, we really like that. What was it, you know, what is it?
Bom, voltando aqui, você viu, né? Black Sabbath.
You're watching Fulia Metal, the hardest rock and roll on the face of the earth. Right, Vin?
Right on.
Party on, Vin.
Hey, Garth.
Fulia Metal, the best.
Aê, Ronnie James Dio, Vini Epps, vão estar aqui também falando um monte. O Dio falou um monte também, vamos conferir agora.
In Black Sabbath again?
Yes, I am, very much so.
Very.
Yeah, well, it was something that I felt that needed to be done. I felt we stopped much too soon. We had so much more to do. It was such a great band. And as Tony and Geezer said to you, I mean, it's been 10 years, and it only took, you know, one night on the stage, and it was always the same. It was as if we really had never stopped playing again. Mm-hmm. So it proved the point to all of us, I think, that, you know, it was something that had stopped too soon, and we wanted to do it again. So we have.
I always heard, like, stories about you making satanic rituals in the middle of the concerts. Is it true, or?
No, we never did anything like that.
Like killing goats and this kind of thing?
There was a band called Black Widow that used to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But we, you know, and their music was crap, but our music was great.
You didn't like them, then?
We just let our music talk for us.
You didn't need that.
Nah, we couldn't afford it anyway.
You couldn't afford it.
Couldn't afford to buy a goat at that time.
And can go there every night.
Tá vendo aí, Black Sabbath, que esse papo aí tem muita historinha, né, de matar pintinho. Lembra que quis falando que os caras matavam pintinho, né?
Comia cabeça de morcego.
Não sei, né? E eu perguntei pra eles também da saída do Ozzy, né? Era inevitável. Eu falei, como é que foi quando saiu o Ozzy? A resposta deles, vamos ver.
And what happened with the band when Ozzy decided to leave? What do you think, like?
Well, it wasn't working. It hadn't been working for about a year before that. We were trying to do new music, and Ozzy just wasn't really into what we were doing. And Tony'd met Ronnie in America, and I think Tony wanted to work with Ronnie.
Tá vendo? Ozzy, você acha que foi Dio pelo Rainbow? Eu volto aí.
How was your passage in Rainbow? Is it difficult to work with Blackmore?
It was never difficult for me at all. Never. No, never. I did about 8 world tours with Purple as Elf, as the opening act for Deep Purple. So I got to know Richie. I say it this way because I didn't get to know him because we didn't speak for maybe 2 years on the tour. because Richie's a very private person. And I understood that, so I stayed away from Richie. If you jump on top of someone like Richie, then he doesn't want to know about you. So I let perhaps my talent speak for it. And one day Richie came into the dressing room and said to me, "You're a great singer." That's the only words he ever said to me. The first time he ever said that to me. And I said, "Well, thank you very much." And then then we became friends, and we used to go out and jam a lot. He was in Purple, I was in Elf, but we'd go to clubs and we would jam and have a great time. And then when he left Purple, because he felt Purple were becoming too funky, as he said, because of Glenn, and Ian Pace wanted to be a bit more funky player, and he said, "I want to quit, I want you to form a band with me," because we had the same idea, which was to make classical rock and roll music. And I had never, ever had a problem with Richie. I respected him very, very much. The only thing I had a problem with Richie was he's a very cruel person, I felt.
Cruel?
Cruel to the fans, very cruel to them, and to people in general. I thought that was very wrong.
Tá aí, né? Você viu só o Dio falando que não teve tritos, assim, com o Richie Blackmore. Eu acho difícil, mas enfim, politicagem, né? Ele o Carmine, né? Então eu perguntei umas coisinhas onde é que ele tinha tocado e ele falou uma palavrinha. Vamos dar uma olhada.
What bands did you play?
Started off with a band called Axis, and then I actually did some things with John Lennon when I was like 16.
John Lennon?
Yeah, did a couple of things. They were like demos that he produced of a couple of singers, and we did TV shows with him, and that's a long time ago. Then Derringer, and then Black Sabbath, Dio, World War III, back to Black Sabbath. Big circle.